Hi guys, today we're answering the question, what is Apple's business model? And so I'm going to talk you through the Apple business model canvas so that you're going to understand how Apple as a company delights its customers and makes money. I'm focusing on Apple as a corporation rather than the iPhone, the iPad, computers or anything else. So it's quite a high level of detail. So starting off with the business model canvas, which was designed by Alexander Osterwalder, we have the customer segments. Apple focus on a mass market customer segment, and specifically they're looking for people who love good design, are high technological prowess, and they're looking to express their status. There are tens of millions, hundreds of millions of these people around the world. So what they offer a set of products that allow people to say that they think different and give them a high level of brand awareness and status. So if you have an Apple device, you elevate your status amongst your peers. This is delivered through awesomely smooth design and a very strong level of usability. Everything is seamless, put together absolutely wonderfully. The customer relationships, for a lot of the Apple services think buying things from the App Store on iTunes, it's all self-service. But when you do need customer support, whether at one of the Genius bars, a store, or if you call in online, you generally get a much higher level of support than for equivalent companies compared, say, to Verizon or even to Amazon. You get knowledgeable sales and customer support who are designed to keep you retained, keep you using Apple services. So the main channels are apple.com and the various Apple stores where you're buying your apps, you're buying music, you're buying other systems and services from software. And then the third-party retailers are often mobile phone providers or mobile telecoms providers, computer hardware stores, the third-party retailers who are selling you the hardware. And this includes Amazon and others. Then the revenue stream. How does Apple make money from the product sales of the physical hardware, the phones, the computers, but also from the media and licensing of software and software products? It takes a cut of everything that you buy on the App Store for every software service that it sells. And then there is a subscription revenue when you subscribe to things like iCloud storage and the music services. Sorry, a little bit of thunder in the background. I work on the balcony because I love the fresh air, but we do get a bit of noise every so often. So sorry about that. Moving over onto the how do they deliver all this? On the infrastructure side of the business model canvas, we have the key resources. That the most important thing for Apple is the design culture. Designed in Cupertino, manufactured in China. Who cares where it is manufactured, so long as the manufacturing meets the design, and the design is everything. The design is beautiful. The design makes it all happen. Yes, that is the key resource. It's less about the human resources. It's less about the software developers. It's less about the intellectual property, though you could put those all in. But those are generic. Most big companies have tens of thousands of people working in R&D, for example. What makes Apple different is the design culture, the design focus. Steve Jobs, obsessive, focusing on details, how it's going to look, how it's going to behave. Johnny Ives is design chops to bring it all together. So then what does Apple do in its key activities? Well, firstly, of course, there is the design. And the design covers what is the product, how is the product going to work, and also goes through into the marketing. You'll notice this is all black and white. Apple is very black, very white, very clean in its design approach. The software development to bring this all together, especially providing the walled gardens that some of its products use, So the iPhone, you have to use Apple Store. You can't go anywhere else. The quality control, making sure that everything is absolutely wonderful. Again, a point of differentiation between something like the Google Play Store and the iPhone Store. You get far less spam, far less crap in there, but also in the physical manufacturing. So you very, very rarely get manufacturing problems that give customers a bad experience about the phone. I think the signal capture on the iPhone 4 or 5, something like that, was an issue, but nothing at the same level as Samsung and other electronics manufacturers had. Now, manufacturing, does Apple do manufacturing? No, they don't. They're used by Foxconn, and so Apple has made a decision to buy the manufacturing key activity from Foxconn or Huihen, something like that in Chinese, out in Taiwan and China, and it has almost 500,000 people working on manufacturing the 500 million iPhones it makes a year out of. No, it can't be that many, but it is a lot. Then you've got the App Store developers, the people who are creating the apps and the software to be used on Apple computers, the phone companies, where Apple is being used, and often that is a great way of promoting the phone app to audiences of hundreds or tens or hundreds of millions of people. Then the publishers and the content creator putting stuff onto the Apple network. Finally, Apple's cost structure is cost driven. You've got a small office in Cupertino. Well, okay, it's very large, but small relative to the amount of value that Apple is creating. That design is spread over tens or hundreds of millions of different computers. The App Store is designed once and constantly improved. The iPhone is designed once and constantly improved. The manufacturing is done by other people. And the focus is, how does Apple get the economies of scale to deliver things? Steve Jobs famously had, when he was promoting the iPad, he already had a working version of the iPhone 1. He could not bring the price down enough to launch it at that time. It's very cost driven. How can you do things at a massive scale at a low cost whilst creating amazing value? That, ladies and gentlemen, is Apple Computer's business model. It's business model canvas. So now you know how Apple's business model works. Do ask me any questions about this in the comments below. What I do, I create, I design, I improvise, I transform business models. If that's what you need, if you want something wonderful and unique, give me a call. Head over to Denis-Oakley.com and find out more about what I do. Thanks for listening. Please press like and subscribe to this channel for more great videos on business models of tech companies. Thanks a lot for listening.